For the Imperial Theatre Lifetime Achievement Award, the recipients are Fred Ross and Sheila Ross.
Being in a small town or out of the big city area, one has to exhibit and have galleries in larger cities like Toronto and Ottawa or Vancouver. And I've been very lucky that way, and over the years I've had the galleries both in St. John and in Toronto and mainly Montreal. And that has been of great value to me because it allows my work to be seen in other places. And Canada being a large country, it's so easy to become isolated and people don't know you at all. How is your work going to be seen by the rest of the country? I've always maintained a studio away from home where I could do my work quietly and where I could have models and all that type of thing that go with the work. We're very lucky here because there are a great many older buildings and they're ideal for studio space. And my luck has been very good over the years, and I've had wonderful studios. So that's another great issue. And then, of course, personally, or all artists have it, is what are you going to paint? What's your career going to be about? And once again, I was very fortunate to have a loving family and beautiful children and beautiful wife and all that aspect of things. And they were my first models. And it's been ongoing, and I've been painting them for years. In fact, I still do. The only thing is now that they're grown up, I have to make an appointment. St. John has been a great place to be, really. But whether one would choose it, you know, as I say, life develops from one day after the next. One day follows the other. And from my standpoint, as a person nearing the end of their career, it's great to get the compliments and the nod and the realization that people really did appreciate what you were doing all this time. And so it's very satisfying from that standpoint.
Imagine that I'd be having a show with my father. It's a great honor, and he's such a wonderful artist and a wonderful father, and but we're in different places, and so this for us to do this is amazing, and I'm so proud of him and that he's still creating work and he's still so engaged with the art community. With my parents, they were extremely busy and extremely passionate about their work, but we were never separated from it. I always spent, we always as children, we were either at the studio or at the ballet studio, and so but as an adult looking back, it's just amazing how just single-mindedness of their work, and their mom especially was, well, both, but mom, her love of her dance studio and her students, and her just also her amazing supportive dad, and but they've been, even when we were children, they were so much part of this community, and it's just really continued on, and St. John's been so supportive and such a wonderful place to be an artist. I think for my father and for my mother's school, and my parents' legacy to leave to St. John. Begins with my mother and introduced as a dancer and as a ballet teacher in St. John, and from her initial school, so much interest in dance, and that has been sustained over the years. And with my father and his connection to Miller and just the senior artist, and he's so entrenched in St. John, and he loves St. John. And he's so, not just to other artists, but to the community, he's just so important. And I think that has brought art to basically to the whole city and to not just to the art community, but to everyone, I think. And he's so loved here, and I think that he's inspired so many people through his artwork and through his teaching, and so I think that will be his legacy. I don't think they'll be forgotten.
My wife Sheila came from England, Surrey, to teach ballet at the YWCA in St. John, and that's when I first met her. And she was a beautiful young English dancer, and she got mixed up with an artist and was never heard of again. But seriously, that was the procedure. She came out here first, basically, and she was the first person to teach ballet seriously in the city. And afterwards, she opened her own school and had a large number of students over the years until she changed to another career. And I think probably Andrea is one of her best students and one of her best friends. A very good friend of ours, Barbara Ring, was thinking of opening an art gallery of her own in St. John, and she did, and it became very successful and very well thought of by other artists in the area. And at that time, unfortunately, she died very suddenly, and her husband, Don Ring, asked if Sheila would take over and become manager of the gallery, and that's what led into her second career. And she was very good at it. She had a wonderful personality, and she was very charming and very interested in the arts, and very much the ideal director of a gallery. And she made friends with the artists, and she was very conscious of their careers and promotion and all those things that are important that a gallery should do for an artist. The best thing that I think about the whole event is that Sheila's equally in partners on this score. And Sheila was one of those unsung heroes, and she devoted her whole life to working and creating and promoting ballet in the city and in the province. And to me, I think that's wonderful. And the fact that Sheila did all this, and many others have done the same thing in this area, they've done it out of the love of the work and the art, and not for profit particularly, but the reward was having students who carried on your work and your ideas, and that was the important thing. She would be extremely proud of this situation and this award, and so am I. And the thing is that, of course, Sheila was always very proud of me, if I may say that, and she enjoyed all the things that were associated with success, but she would have never dreamed of this happening, because, 40 years ago or before, it was unthinkable. But I know that she would have enjoyed it and been proud of it, and very happy to participate. And my great regret is that she's not here to join us, because I talk about Sheila's beauty and her charm, but the people who know her will agree with me, I think, and say that you had to know her, you had to meet her, and you had to talk to her, and you had to enjoy her personality and her enthusiasm and things that were contagious. So my great regret is not getting the award, but the fact that Sheila isn't here with us.